Hey, Huevos fam, this is Jesus. Just checking in to let you guys know this episode has been split into 2 parts. Give us a couple weeks, we'll have that part 2 out for you. But in the meantime, enjoy part 1 and live with eggs.
Ready.
Recording. Red everywhere. All right. What's up, guys? My name is Mario.
My name is Silvia.
My name's Pau.
My name is Jesus.
Welcome back
to another Vive con Huevos podcast.
Wrong one.
No, I always wanted to show off my new buttons.
I thought you were going to do the clapping.
Okay, just for you. But guys, welcome back. I know we've been MIA, and I'm so sorry.
So much going on in the world.
Jesus just keeps canceling, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of over
We're
it.
on my time.
Yeah, he came back with a big dick energy, and honestly, it's
We're
the
all a
whole
little
new
scared.
other Jesus. He's like, "Fuck you, we're not recording
We're
today.
all obeying.
We're gonna drop the podcast whenever I say so." And well, he edits, so I have no other choice than to
Feels
follow
nice.
the word of
This
Christ.
power trip feels nice.
We're not sure if
Slinging
Jesus is
that
going to
thing
kill us or not.
everywhere.
He's been a little unhinged. He might unalive us all.
What do you call it? I'm crashing out.
Yeah.
That's what the
Little
Gen
He
Z
relapsed.
According to Jesus, he did relapse.
But anyways, guys, welcome back to another Miercoles con Huevos. None of you told me whether or not you like the
Unless
Wednesdays.
you're on YouTube.
Or, oh yeah, unless you're on YouTube, because we have a surprise for y'all. Subscribe to see Jesus' feet. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And we hope we're having a wonderful, I don't even know what fucking month it is. Whatever the fuck month it is, day,
March.
hour.
Oh, no.
No,
This
I think
will
we're
still come out in February. February. I always say
Yeah.
February.
For Bari.
February.
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 I say it the way I spell it.
February.
Like when I spell it out, February.
It's
Like
not a U,
Wednesday.
You.
February.
Yeah, there's a U there, though.
February.
Not before the R.
Oh my God.
I say it like I spell it February.
I'm dead.
Anyways, fuck you, Zia.
I told you I was feeling silly today.
I don't think Mario ever won a spelling bee challenge.
I did not know. And you know what? We used to do the timetable relay races. Remember that? In like 3rd grade or some shit. Anyways, but I'll always remember 6 times 6 because that's the one I failed on.
36.
36. And I failed against like one
like
of the
the easiest
smartest.
one.
Yeah, but
6
I
times
was
6 is
no, there was a lot
36.
of pressure on me, okay? I was up against one of the
I'm gonna need
smartest.
you to take a couple deep breaths.
I was up against one of like the smartest like kids in the class. And I was like, the pressure was on. And my 2nd or 3rd grade little mind, I was like, I have to win. Like, fuck this bitch. And it was 6 times 6, and I knew it, but I fucked up. And I'm never gonna.
And what'd you say?
Yeah, no me acuerdo. I just
21.
I wish I had that button.
Like
21.
16.
But yeah, I went back to my seat, and I remember we had this little like tablita where you would like
Oh, yeah.
push it down, and
I
it
had
was
one
like
of those.
see through, right? And I was like 6 times 6. I was 36. Like, wait, no, mames.
It's okay. I have a friend, Anna.
Yeah.
You know Anna. When we were in middle school, she was in a spelling bee and she like contest, and she was, I think, up against one more person. Like it was her and that person, right? And she is like the most Mexican girl you ever meet. Like fluent in Spanish. Her parents don't speak English. Like speaks Spanish, and her word was fiesta, and she spelt it wrong. She forgot to say the A at the end. So she technically
Fiesta.
didn't spell it wrong. She just thought she said it. And so she spelled it, and she was like Fiest. And then everybody's like, hey! And she's like not understanding because she thought she said it.
Eke?
Yeah, I know. And they even tried to like give her another chance, and yeah, no. So she lost
Damn.
because of fiesta. I know. So you're not the only one.
Next time I see her, I'm gonna give her a shirt that says Fiesta.
No A.
A is
Fiesta.
silent.
I wonder if she still remembers. Someone ask her.
Now she better remember now. Make fun of her. But anyways, guys, I have a little I guess I don't know, not really Marioism, but I want you guys to pick your top 3 foods, like something you can't live without, like cookie, and it can be like random. It just has to be your top 3, like cookies, pizza, sushi, whatever.
Okay, I have mine.
I wait.
But I want all of us to go together. We can.
At the same time?
Nah, I mean.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Think about it.
At the same time.
2, 3, go.
I just want to see if we're in sync.
Okay.
Once you have them, just let me know.
Wait, do liquids
So
Are we
count?
doing it now?
So we have to
Or
say
does it have to
at
be
the
a
same
food?
Oh
time.
my god, I'm sweating.
No.
How much time do I have?
What are we doing?
Just think
No,
of the 3
foods.
foods.
I already know.
Only foods.
Only foods.
Okay, wait, I need one more.
That's a good like cooking channel. Only foods.
Only foods.
Only foods.
These things are the 3 things I think of every single day of my life that
Oh,
I want to
shit.
go buy right now.
Are we
Really?
doing this now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can I go last? Panicking. Why?
You can go last, but I won't tell you guys what it is until Celia figures it out.
Damn, the last
Yeah.
one is hard.
Because then once I tell you, you're gonna be like, "Damn, really? That's the prompt."
Why is this a trick question? Open that up. Open that back up. Sushi for sure is one of mine.
Okay.
Okay, someone else go. I'm scared.
No, it's fine. It's gonna be great. It's not even that serious.
Why do I feel like everyone knows something I don't?
no,
Okay.
nobody knows anything.
Okay, sushi for sure. I can't live without it. I think about it often.
I do think about sushi often.
I like sweets, but I need to. If you're limiting me to 3, I have to think about this.
Yeah, it has to be like like if it's a sweet, it has to be a specific sweet.
Fuck.
Okay.
Specific.
Like a Smartie or a.
Red velvet cupcakes.
Okay.
That's another one. I wanted to go last. Why am I the only one talking?
You started to say your
3. Potato.
Yeah, potato. That's a food.
Potatoes. French fries, mashed potatoes. I feel like Forrest Gump. Shrimp. Salad. Shrimp and potatoes.
Garlic shrimp,
Gumbo shrimp.
coconut shrimp.
Because I was going to say pierogis, which are a Polish dumpling, but they're filled with potato and cheese usually. So I guess I'll just say that because that's potato and cheese.
Okay, so
Okay.
sushi,
Sushi,
red velvet cupcakes, and potatoes.
No,
And
she
pierogies.
said
And pierogies.
Pierogis.
Pierogis.
Muy bien.
Jesus.
Extra hot Cheetos, like the extra hot ones, pepperoni pizza, and banana loaf.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of
Well,
everything.
very well rounded, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's
Pasta.
random as hell.
Ooh. Chocolate chip cookies.
No, what kind of pasta? We're being specific, no?
Mhm.
Oh, we're being specific with the
No,
pasta?
I said potato.
Yeah.
I said all the potatoes.
Okay.
Oh,
She
That's
can
fine.
say all the
Pasta.
pastas. I
Okay,
want to change
pasta.
mine now.
So versatile.
Just
'Cause,
kidding.
like, pasta could be like chow mein, or it could be
Exactly.
fettuccine alfredo.
I have
That's a
endless
good one.
options. Okay.
She's smart.
Pasta.
She's the brains of the operation.
Chocolate chip cookies, because those are really the only. I mean, I love all cookies. I don't discriminate, but chocolate chip is the one I would not want to live without. Damn. The third one is hard because, like, I'm between a few of things, but I'm gonna have to say pasta, chocolate chip cookies.
Damn. Heavy hitters right out the
I
gate.
know. I was ready. We haven't potted in a while.
He was ripe.
My mind was like,
Fuck.
What are you debating with?
yeah, let's help you figure it
I'm
out.
such a fat ass. I'm
I
like,
know.
Let's break this down.
talk dirty to
Well,
me.
it's because potato was one. Well, I was gonna say French fries, but potato in reality was one, and sushi was my other. But like, I love both equally. I'm gonna say
You gotta pick one.
sushi.
Some
I'm gonna say
sushi fries.
Sushi, chocolate chip cookies, and pasta.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Yeah.
what's yours?
Oh, chips, Pasta, chips. See, I have a hard time with my third, but I think I'm gonna go with Korean barbecue. I fucking love Korean barbecue.
Damn,
I know
so
it's
you're not
not
gonna
a
go with
food,
meat.
but it's
Yours
just meat.
is
Yeah, I
Korean
guess
barbecue.
it's
Yeah.
meat.
Chips
Like
is
red
not
meat.
food either. You got to give specific chips.
Okay, the flaming hot ruffles,
So flaming hot ruffles, meat, and
like red meat, like carne.
carne, and what?
Like lamb, beef,
No, red meat. Like
lamb,
like
beef.
beef.
Beef, yeah.
Beef.
Did you see me?
Wait, you know, I just learned something. I didn't. Whenever I would think red meat, I would only think of steak, like
Beef.
I'm thinking
like
of
beef.
steak. I'm thinking like
I never think of pork and lamb.
Or
No.
Are those
venison, you
technically
know.
red
I
meat?
guess those are red meat.
There's venison, there's bison. There's a lot of red meat.
Now you
garlic
sound like
shrimp.
Forrest Gump.
Okay, what was your
You
thing?
were so excited.
yeah, no. So it was the ruffles, flaming hot. What did I say?
Steak.
Yeah. We got yours already.
And
Why?
pasta.
I want to know why.
All right, you got to fuck, marry, kill. Your
Oh,
three top food,
shit.
and because someone came at me the other day and I was like, when I fuck, I can fuck them anytime. No, it's a hit it and quit it. Fuck, you can't
I
keep
know.
coming back and fucking your fuck.
No.
Yeah,
Why? What if I want to cheat on my
because
husband?
you're marrying the other one. No, we're
Yeah,
faithful
so-
people on this podcast.
No, not on food.
No, it's a hit it and quit it.
Don't tell me how to live. Oh, shit.
Fuck.
I marry my hot Cheetos.
This is ready.
I'll fuck my pizza, and then I'll kill the banana loaf.
Okay, that's a good one. I'd probably go that route
Oh,
too.
no. Why are you doing this to me? I'm sweating.
Oh, she's so broken. She's so
I know.
heartbroken right now.
This is horrible.
You see what happens when you guys don't let me pod? Keep canceling. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
I have to marry sushi.
This is why you should have been
Sustenance.
specific, you know, like, Philadelphia roll. So that way you can't eat Philadelphia rolls anymore, but you can have California rolls,
Loopholes.
you know?
That's why I let her be broad though. When she said potatoes, I was like, okay.
Oh, no.
Plan con maña.
I try to help you guys.
Fuck. This is horrible. All
I'm
right.
surprised you didn't see the F Mary kill on the top of my notes when I gave you my laptop.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah.
You know what I thought that was?
And I'm really curious. Hold on.
That was like an author.
Fuck.
Spell it out. Stroll. What F dot capital
I
N A?
didn't know what to comma, first of all.
I thought it was a name. Okay. Okay,
oh my God,
I would.
I'm dead.
I would. Fuck. Okay.
Introduction.
I
F
would-
Mary
Oh,
kill.
it does, and it
See?
it does look
I
like.
ignored those two lines. I thought it was a book. I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
You can't
All
even
right.
see it.
Anyway, I'd kill the red velvet because I know I don't
Yeah.
need it in my life. And I could never get rid of pierogies, but I could have like a one last beautiful night with them. I'm done with this topic.
She's mad.
I don't like it. I didn't agree to this.
We were trying to talk about weight loss.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'd marry pasta.
I know.
I'd have a beautiful night with my chocolate chip cookies, and then I'd kill sushi.
It's hard, huh?
Yeah.
I'd probably kill my chips.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'd marry the meat pause. And what did I say? Pasta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you'd fuck the
I'd
pasta.
fuck the pasta.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, that's enough of this podcast. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
See you next week.
Y como siempre, guys, live your best life, fight your fears. At the end of the day, the only thing that you regret is the food that you killed. Speaking of food, we have a very, I wouldn't say heavy topic, but it's something that has been requested.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Heavy topic.
No, that one needed to be the bottom.
I know. You did me dirty. That was,
That was
a good-
hard. I mean,
Whoa. Oh,
We're on a roll today.
did you guys eat an edible while I was at my workout or something? What is happening? Why didn't you let me in on the fun?
Al contrario, Silvia was downstairs by herself.
I was, and I was freezing. And now I'm hot as shit.
I forgot to close the windows, and we had all the windows through two
Yeah,
of the
so
windows
that's
open.
Sitting there
Yeah.
rocking back and forth.
Always close the
For warmth.
windows.
I was in a meeting.
Oh, yeah, I'm
And I
so
go
sorry.
down, and she was going like this, and I was like, she looks like a crackhead, but no man, I didn't like click in my head. I was like,
I'm
oh,
like,
she's
who am I
probably
gonna
cold. But
God.
this topic kind of came around because I had posted a picture of Torta Mario, and I had gotten a lot of DMs about like my weight loss journey, and then it kind of triggered a topic because I think all four of us have gone through some sort of transformation. Jesus, I think your weight loss transformation has gone through the podcast. Yours too, babe. I think all of ours, except for Silvia.
Yeah.
And it's a topic that I think most people struggle with weight loss. I'm talking about weight loss, guys. Is especially in the beginning of the year. You know, we did the 75 hard challenge. We kind of failed.
We're doing.
We're doing the 75 hard
soft.
challenge.
Fail.
We didn't fail. We just had a moment of weakness, but it's okay.
Now you just got to reset.
Yeah, we just got to reset.
Too busy fucking the pasta.
And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because I feel like we all kind of struggle with it. I've struggled with it for like years. I was on my weight loss journey. I failed and gained weight, and I was always fluctuating. And it's something that has really, it's like going back to our first podcast of the year when we said that we wanted to come back to our roots and talk about like mental health and wellness. I guess that's like the root of all evil for me was just like my weight loss journey and how that's kind of shaped me through the years. Cause like in my earlier teens, like I was pretty fit and I was a pretty active guy. And then I gained a shit ton of weight, and I like at my biggest point, I was like over 400 pounds. Now I'm at 270.
Damn,
And then
dude.
it's like, yeah,
That's amazing.
well, lost a whole ass other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's just been a fluctuating weight, and it's been such a struggle, and it really does affect your mental health significantly because like
Yeah.
you're depressed, or because of the depression you're overeating, and there's just so many things that go into that subject that it's like all four of us have had our own journey and our own unique experiences with it. So it was like wanted to bump heads with you guys.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Sorry, I have a lot of mocos again.
Ew.
Because I cleaned that house with the cat.
Oh.
So I have a bunch
Oh,
of
shit.
I'm allergic.
Welcome to my life.
I know. I don't know how you should live with this. So if you hear my like nose all like mormado, it's because I cleaned the house with the cats today.
Okay.
It's okay to say
Sorry.
you cried.
It's because I killed my chips. Todavía tengo un chivo, calor. Yeah, so I think all of us have gone through something. We've all lost a significant amount of weight, whether if it was like a personal goal, whether if it was just to be, healthy, longevity, or just to look good overall, And yeah, I don't know. I mean, does anyone want to start? I think people are tired of listening to me.
I mean, is there like a question you want to start with? Or are we just going to talk
your
about
weight
Yeah,
loss,
yeah, just your weight loss journey, like how
my
it
journey in
started.
general?
Yeah. Like where you,
I think for me, it was, I just was feeling really sick all of the time. And like, I just didn't feel well. And I think I was looking at like longevity more than anything. Like it never came from like, I don't like how I look. Maybe at the time, like now I look back and I'm like, oh shit, like I really needed to work on that, But at the time, like it wasn't like I'm uncomfortable in my body. Like I don't like how I look. It was more of a, like, if I keep going this way, like it's not going to end well, And so I started becoming very aware about like how the older you get, the less mobility you have. And like, I learned that after the age of 30, your muscle mass just decreases unless you're doing something about it. So like if you're not working out or anything, it's just going to decrease on its own. So that's when I was like, well, I'm pushing 30 and I'm not doing anything with like I'm not working out and I'm not trying to lose weight or anything, So that's kind of how it started for me. And then I'll talk about this part later, but yeah. So for me, it just kind of started with like wanting to feel better because I was just feeling sick all of the time. And then also like wanting to be okay in the future. And something that I thought about a lot was just like us having kids and like being able to like keep up with kids, you know, and like having the energy to to like having the energy for kids in general. And because I didn't want to like be the parent that's just like sitting on the couch with the kid on the tablet all day, because like I don't have the energy for like to take them to the park or to play with them or whatever like the case was. So that was definitely something that motivated me a lot. But I think my biggest motivation was longevity and just knowing that like if I do have kids, like I'm around for as long as possible for like what's in my control, obviously, you know, because we don't know what's gonna happen, but anything that I can do take into my control to know that I'll be around as long as possible, like that was definitely my motivation.
Yeah.
What about you, GB?
Well, for me, it's always been a roller coaster as well. What'd you call it? You said a specific word and I had it. I kept fluctuating.
Oh, I was like, I said something.
Say a lot of things. Big word.
Retracting.
So I've always been
February.
I grew up like a heavy kid. And then I got to high school. I started working out. I made friends that were in cross country and I started doing that. And then right after high school, that's when I discovered drinking. So my whole life switched. I remember specifically after one of my exes, I just went like full party mode and I just started drinking and clubbing and just eating, and I just let myself go and I went away from all the workouts. And then I went like 10 years like that. And then finally in COVID, I got sick. And I was one of those that it actually hit me hard. Like I was bed rested for 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
And I know it was because of my weight. Like I was at my heaviest. I was like 380 pushing 400, I think it was. And I was like, I don't want to be like this anymore. Like I ruined that. It was the worst Christmas because like I got my family sick. I couldn't celebrate Christmas or New Year's. Like it was just bedridden and I was like just eating soup. And I was like, I need to change. So I changed my like eating habits. And so I guess there's always like a motivation of what stage I'm going to be going through, right? Whether it's be losing weight or gaining weight. But this time that scared me. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to eat better. And then I plateaued at one point last year. I was like, you know what? I need to do something else. And I talked about it a little bit a couple podcasts ago that I just started working out. I started before New Year's. Like I just need to do something that's going to, you know, help me reach. I don't have a goal. I just want to look good, or I just want to feel good, pretty much. And I've never actually, I'm not one of those that weighs myself and say, oh, I did progress. It's more of like, how do my clothes look? How do I look, or how do I feel in my clothes? Because there was a time where like, there's times where like, I'm like, oh, this shirt doesn't fit. I have to throw it away or buy bigger ones. I feel bad. But then when there's times that like, oh, this shirt's super big, great. Like, like I'll use it just to look, just to feel skinny. Or buy something new. So. But it's been right now it's really good. I'm actually sticking to exercising every day, so it's been fun. It's weird because I started exercising and I started going up in weight. I don't know if I mentioned this already. Well, and it was crazy. I was like tripping. I was like, how the hell did I gain weight? And then, but like my shirts were getting tighter. But I realized, oh, it's because of muscle. Yeah. But then, so I had to switch up my workouts where I'm doing more cardio because I don't want to get big. I want to get smaller, but also like line up and all that.
Slim
so,
fit.
so I started doing more cardio than actual workouts.
We'll talk about that.
Well, that's funny that you say that about the like gaining weight, but like when you started working out more, because I feel like that's a conversation that I have with Mario all of the time because he does weigh himself, and I'm like, okay, maybe you think you've plateaued. Yeah. But like in reality, you've been lifting so much more now that you're probably going up in weight because of your muscles, but your like fat is going down, you know? So yeah, that's good that you were able to realize that like not necessarily means that you're gaining fat, but like you're gaining weight, just not fat.
Yeah. I looked into it. Like, I guess you gain weight, but then it goes back down. Mm-hmm. It's going good.
Good. Proud of you.
Thank you.
I gained a ton of weight out of high school, and in high school I was like 100 pounds, stick thin. I've always had like a bigger waist and butt, but my legs were teeny tiny, like stick legs, almost to the point where I look back and like I was almost too skinny. Like it was very bony, but I was young. And then when I was 18, I had that lawsuit from my parents, which I think I talked about in
your
the first
first
podcast I was on.
podcast, yeah.
And I gained a ton of weight. And I went from 100 pounds in the span of 3 years to 198.2. And I will never forget that number because that's the day I looked at the scale and I was like, what the fuck happened? And I remember looking in the mirror and just crying and just feeling like it wasn't even really about the weight or the number. It was just everything. It was me unhappy in a relationship. It was me unhappy with myself, unhappy with my career, with everything I had done in life up until then, not having a relationship with my family. I was just so depressed. And so I think that the weight represented so much of what I just didn't like in my life that I was like, okay, there's a lot I can't control that's making up this equation, but the one thing I can control is me.
Yeah.
And so since then, it's probably been like a 7 or 8 year now, just slow decline of the weight. And total, I've probably lost about 75 pounds, but I'm back up 10 because of my hormonal bullshit, which is really annoying. But I also, when I weighed that much, went to the doctor to start to like, you know, you slow roll out the process. Like, what do I have to do? My eating, my this, my that. And I found out I had high cholesterol too. And that was like the first time I was really like, oh, for long-term and longevity, this isn't good. This is what happens when you gain weight. And I had just never dealt with that. And so having people on my mom's side of my family and my dad's side of the family, I guess, a lot of his like brothers' wives that are overweight, I just assumed that my metabolism would like get me through the rest of my life. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to end up with like the diabetes, the joint pain, the chronic illnesses that I see through my family for the people that are overweight. So I am proud to say that even though I've had one fluctuation, which I feel like is not really my fault, it was a hormonal thing. I feel like it's been a steady decline and I refuse to go back there. Yeah. It's like so ingrained in my brain that I just can't. Yeah. I'm like traumatized. I'm like, we can't go back there.
No, I feel that way too now. Like during the time of me like losing all the weight, and I'm still not at the goal that I want to be at, you know, like I'm still declining and I'm still working towards that. But looking back, I'm like, yeah, I would never want to go back to that because of multiple reasons, you know, but one of them being, it's just like, how shitty you feel at the time, even when you don't realize that you feel shitty at the time, you know, looking back on it, I'm like, man, there's so many moments and days that were like, I had zero energy and like, I thought it was just cause I was tired and like, didn't realize it was all of these things that were, affecting it. So I do share that sentiment. Like I will never go back to that. And like, I can say that wholeheartedly cause it was tough. What?
I was just, when you were saying all that, I was like, man, I just think back, I was probably heaving when I was like heavy. Just like, I'm not heaving anymore.
all I'm thinking about right now is that one picture that I sent in the group chat where it's all three of us. And that was Jesus.
That was Ashley
and Johnny's wedding.
Shower.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bridal shower.
And well, Jesus, insert picture here.
Yeah. We'll show it.
I can send pictures of myself when I was big, but that picture, like just specifically because it's us three, and I was like, holy shit. And I look back at like just in COVID in general, because I think when COVID when the pandemic hit, that's when I was my heaviest. And looking back at it, like, I mean, it was a lot of different things. And I mean, you don't just one day wake up and you're automatically fucking huge. It's a gradual thing. But it took me back to a time where I was like, that gradual weight gain was also like a gradual decline of my mental health. You know, I didn't 1,000%. Realize that I was depressed, and I didn't realize that I was stressed, and you know, all these internal things were happening. It was just externally, it was, you could see it. I just didn't know it was happening. And then when I look back at those pictures, like, holy fuck, like I don't even recognize myself. And I don't want to think, like Silvia said, like, I don't want to get back to that anymore. But I'm glad I have those pictures, because I know Silvia was talking about, like, you didn't like taking pictures. You didn't want to.
I'm a very vain person. I don't recommend vanity being your main reason for why you want to lose weight, but I really resent when people are like, that's a sin. Like you shouldn't.
Yeah, no.
why?
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better and to see something you like better in the mirror, then I feel like vanity is as good a reason as anything else.
Yeah.
So I will never be ashamed to admit that vanity is a really big driver. I think it's healthily balanced with other reasons, but I just refused to have my picture taken. If it was a photo, it was always like above the waist. So now looking back, I'm like, damn, I kind of wish I had those photos because I know what I looked like.
Yeah.
And I would love to show people. And now that I actually deal with people's health and well-being, I would love to like have that own testimonial
Yeah.
versus like waiting for my clients to have that testimonial. Cause I think it's really cool to be able to relate to people in that way. But I'm like, you just have to picture it.
Well, it's funny
It doesn't
because
exist.
Ask AI to make it for you.
Yeah, literally.
I'll never forget I
What is your
think I
mic
had,
on?
yeah.
Oh, sorry. The toggle looked down from here.
No, it's on. We had just met through Spin, and like you posted your picture. You have like the one picture at the beach.
Yeah.
And you posted it, and I'll never forget because it said like, if you screenshot this, I'll come for you. And I read it and I thought it was so funny. And I was like, dude, the fact that she thinks that someone's gonna screenshot this, but like people
it's
will,
a
so I
deep-rooted
get it.
trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. I think that's how I got so good at photography because I hated being on the other side of the picture. I like taking pictures because I was like, no,
Like, no,
you
let
let
me
them
do
all.
it.
Yeah, I got it. I'll take a way better picture than you ever will. But you know, I'm glad I have those pictures because it's like a reminder of like who I was, you know, and in every aspect of the word, I feel like I'm in a lot better place. And like when I see those pictures, I'm like, holy fuck, Mario, what the fuck did you do to yourself?
Pobrecito.
Yeah. It's like, God damn, mom, damn Shrek. And it was a really sad time in my life, you know, now that I can reflect back on that time and where I was, like I said, like mentally, I was just like, I was in a really dark place and I didn't even know I was in a dark place. And I think that's what's scary about
Weight gain.
is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sometimes it's, if you don't have that wake up call. And for me, it was like the constant gout attacks and how constantly tired I was. And we were going to all these events because when COVID happened, a lot of the weddings that we were supposed to go to in 2020 got postponed. And it was just like the constant trying to fit into a tux, or like the next wedding I had to buy a bigger tux. And I was like, you know, it was just, I didn't want to be there anymore. And that was my biggest wake up call. And it was just so hard to get out of that. And I can sympathize with people when they're like, it's hard, but it's like, I get it. It's hard. But like Jesus just said, it's all about like changing those small habits. And I had written down something on my notes about like, it is like a little bit about having the motivation to work out, but it's like starting gradual, you know? And I think that's something really big that, especially now with the 75 hard challenge that we did, is like those minimal changes that you do that will improve your life.
Yeah.
Even though they're small, they add up to a lot.
They really do. So when I started my like weight loss journey, I guess you can call it, I don't know. I guess I don't like when I think about it, like I don't think of it that way, but it's
You're like,
true.
I've always been perfect.
No, not at all. But I
Speaking
guess I
about
just
being
never
vain.
like
They not like us.
because I started for my health versus my weight. That's why like I always look at it as like my health journey, you know,
Yeah.
because that's how I started it mentally. I was like, it's for my health. When I started, that was my biggest thing. It was like January 1st, and I was like coming up with my resolutions, or I had December 31st coming up with my resolutions for the year. And I've never been a fan of resolutions because I feel like you start off strong, and then 3 weeks in, you're
They
like
fizzle out. Yeah.
So that was the year where I was like, it's not a resolution, it's a change. Like I have to make these changes. And it just started with like, okay, instead of forcing myself to work out every single day, like I'm just asking for movement during the week. And like whatever that movement looks like, I need to do it at least once or twice a week to like gradually get into it, you know? And like I started cleaning out the pantry, and it's like I didn't throw anything away. Like it's not like I went into the pantry and threw all the food that I didn't want to eat away, which I would have done the years before. And this year was like, cuando se acabe ya no lo compro, you know, like once I'm finished with that one, I won't buy more. But like it's fine, like we just gradually get rid of these things. And I started going to the nutritionist, and like just little baby steps eventually got me to where I am right now. And it's one of those like you want these changes to happen immediately, but they're not going to, you know? So you have to have like, you have to have the patience. And for a really long time, I didn't have that patience, and I didn't look at it that way. It wasn't like, oh, I just have to like get through this little phase, you know? It was always like, no, like, where's the change? Like, I'm putting in all this work. So a lot of the time I always just like, well, I'm doing it wrong and I don't know how to do it. And I wouldn't seek help until one day I was like, you got to seek help. Like, there's people that get paid to do these things for a reason, you know? So yeah, but I agree. It's just like those small changes, one at a time. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. That's when it starts to actually work, you know?
Yeah. That's how I started. I don't know if I mentioned, I didn't think I mentioned it, but when the COVID thing happened, all I did was just change my diet. And it wasn't like an extreme diet either. Like, it was just more like I was drinking regular milk. Now I'm drinking oat milk. I'm drinking regular Coke. I switched to zero. Or like, I know it's not a lot, but like, it's
that
just
counts.
small switches here and there. And it just started adding up. And I got to the point where it plateaus. Like, all right, I did most of the changes. I got off like sodas already, or like juices and stuff. I'm just doing water.
At one point you stopped because you were gaming a lot. So you were drinking like sodas. You would go to the gas station and get like the bag of chips and soda.
Yeah, I was doing that a lot. Like, it was just cutting down, or like I didn't cut chips off, but I left it for the weekend. Like little things like that. Like, I used to do it every day, but now it's just, like, you know, I didn't want to deprive myself. Like, I still wanted those like, still like happy dopamine stuff triggering. So I gave myself my chips or my drinks in the weekend, as long as I really took care of myself during the week. So that helped, that worked with me. And then now I feel like I'm drinking even less or eating less junk food because I've just been doing it for so long that like it's just out of my life now.
Yeah. You get used to it too. I feel like I go to the store now and I don't even turn to look at those things anymore. Whereas like before, that was like the first thing, you know, like even like Trader Joe's, like I love their snacks, and like I rarely even turn to look at their snacks now because I know it's
like,
just,
you're better than me.
if we have them, we eat them, and I'd rather not have them. No, I don't know. Yeah. I think because I just was so serious about the whole like nutritionist thing, I really do try to stick to like that, you know? And so if I buy them, I'll eat them. Like, if I buy the cookies, I eat the cookies. And don't get me wrong, like I buy the cookies or I buy the chips, but I would say that I try not to go into those aisles.
Those
more
Trader
now.
Joe's cookies are freaking crack.
I know. But like now it's like we buy them once a month instead of every grocery store trip, you know?
Well, and sometimes they'll go bad. Like, I think it's gotten to the point where we buy them and
you don't eat them.
and we don't eat them anymore. Yeah.
Like the last four get stale.
The last one. But we don't finish it. There's still one in there. But I think Bao had like a good approach to her weight loss journey, is because like she started it because she wanted to get healthier. And I think that was one of my biggest challenges when I first started, when I was a lot bigger, was that I did it because I wanted to be skinnier. And I think that was the wrong approach, because like Jesus said, then I got obsessed with stepping. I'm still a little obsessed with the scale, but like I was obsessively obsessed with the scale. Like me pesaba en la mañana y me pasaba en la noche.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day. And if the needle wouldn't move, then I would like get depressed or I would get sad.
It's a mental thing.
Yeah. And,
for sure.
but that goes, I mean, I know this is stupid, but that also kind of goes back to like when I played football and I wanted to move positions, and you needed to either gain weight or lose weight so fast in such a small amount of time that I would do extreme things in order to hit the goal. Like when I wanted to move from a lineman to a middle linebacker, like I was working out with like sauna suits and a sweater outside running. And then I would dehydrate myself, and I would do these really stupid. I was like really malnourished probably at one point, but I just
feel
didn't
like
know.
all sport players at that age are like, because wrestling is like the same thing, right? Like you have to get to your certain weight, and like they're not eating anything, they're fucking spitting into a water bottle all day. I hated wrestling week at school because I hated that like all the
Like,
guys
all the
carried
crazies came
around
out.
their freaking gallon water bottle just spitting in it, and I was like, that is so disgusting to me. But I feel like it's just like that is a deep rooted trauma in a sense that you have, that like you live by. It's kind of, you know, because you just were so used to it for so long, and it worked for you in high school.
Yeah.
And so you just didn't realize that, well, not that you didn't realize, but like you wanted it to work for you the same way that it did for you at that time, you know?
Yeah, and then Celia and I we were talking about it earlier. It was like that instant gratification because I was working out with the sauna suit and I was dropping so much water weight. You know, the next day I was down almost 10 pounds sometimes.
That's
but then the
fucking
next week,
crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that what I need
Back
to
up.
do?
And just a word from our sponsors, guys. Today we're going to be sponsored by the sauna suit.
I've actually been thinking about using that for
The
my
sauna
runs.
You should.
They're good. Actually, yeah, they're not bad.
Like, opens up your. I don't condone them. It was just I was got obsessed with it,
Yeah,
and
you
if
were
I
using
wasn't
it to the extreme.
and even now, like if I'm not sweating the way I like to sweat, that's a weird thing to say. Like I feel like I didn't work out. Like sometimes I'll come back from like the personal training and I'm not as sweaty. I'm like, did I even work out today? Like, what the fuck did I do?
What am I paying you for?
Yeah, you hear that, Sonny?
I know. Shit. Or like
Watch out.
the other day we worked on we did mobility stuff, and like mobility you don't really sweat as much, right? And like
Well, it's like low
Unless you're
impact.
me. I'm such a sweaty person. I sweat everything I do.
But then again, we're working out in the garage, and he leaves it open, and there's 2 fans. So like, anyways, in my head, I'm like, I didn't sweat enough today, and I didn't feel like I worked out. So like, there's still like little like habits and things like triggers that like I need to slowly taper
Little
away from.
toxic-
Yeah,
Little toxic takes.
but I've gotten better. Okay. I've gotten
Yeah,
better.
no, you
Yeah.
have. I mean, from when you started working out, like this past year, you know, like when you started going to the personal training and stuff, I feel like your mentality around it has changed a lot. And like, I don't know, I haven't heard you say like, oh, I'm going to hit the sauna after as much as like at the time, because I feel like you felt like you weren't sweating enough in your class. So you wanted to go sit in the sauna. And then when I learned you were sitting there for like 30, 40 minutes, I was like, dude, that's also not healthy. We got to talk about this.
I really like the sauna though. I can be in there for
Yeah.
an hour. I've been in there an hour.
20 minutes max.
Yeah.
Bro. What the hell?
The steam room, then the sauna.
I have this really toxic habit where it's like if I go in there and someone's in there, I have to be the last person out. Like have you ever seen those TikToks where it's a guy on the
Some of
Stairmaster?
your conquering bullshit.
Yeah. And it's like, ain't
Such a
no way
guy.
in hell I'm gonna let this girl with the pink Stanley Stairmaster me. Have you never?
Amazing.
I saw a TikTok like that, and the guy had been on there for like 62 minutes, and he was like, I can't anymore. And the girl was still going. So, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I still struggle with a lot of different things, but now I think before my biggest challenge was just the lack of motive. I just made up a bunch of stupid excuses.
Yeah.
La neta. Like I just didn't,
Yeah.
you know.
I think there comes a point that we all do.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, because of this, because of work, or I'm tired, and it's just really finding the time. And I know it sounds really cliche, but that is what it is. Is that like, just like you find time for everything else, you have to find time for that. And I 100% understand that it's really hard to get into that mentality, and that it's really hard to like get into, oh, I'm going to wake up early to go work out, or I'm going to go to bed later so that I can go get my workout in, you know? And a lot of people just, I mean, I chose sleep over anything for a really long time until that one day that I was like, all right, like if I don't work out in the morning, I don't work out. So I have to start getting up earlier.
Yeah.
I just hate how your house gets like really cozy as soon as it's like time to go work out. You're
Yeah.
Like, oh. Te pones bien concha.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
I think I'd be lying if I said that part of the reason that I got into being a fitness instructor wasn't for the consistency aspect.
Yeah.
Like I 100% did it because I'm such an extreme person, and I do need that instant gratification, that if it's not a part of my life, I'm probably not going to stick with it. So for me, part of becoming an instructor, most of it was I really wanted to help other people do what I had done and kind of hold them through that process, because so many people had done that so beautifully for me. And I've just, even if it was one person I helped, I wanted to do that. But the other half of it was very selfish, because I was like, if I don't have to get up to do this for other people and I'm not getting paid to show up, I'm probably not going to do it as consistently as I should. And now it's been so many years that it's just ingrained in me, and I do naturally crave to go move my body. And I asked Kelly for a workout date like a month ago, and he was like, who the fuck are you? And it's just, you enjoy it after a while, because once you build the habit, then it's like second nature. But it took a really long time, even with me having this be part of my life, to be like, oh, we haven't gone to the gym in a while. Like that'd be nice. He's like, that's bien.
It got to a point one time where I was like, I stopped following certain like fitness instructors or certain like influencers in like the fitness industry because I hated the mentality of like quit being a bitch and just do it.
No.
I still kind of hate that mentality.
I still do
too.
Yeah.
But my way of thinking was like, yeah, bitch, is easy for you. This is what you do for a living. You're at the gym fucking 8 hours.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
So it was like, I struggle, and I always use this as an excuse.
Hey,
but it was
fuck
like,
me, fuck you.
say something. So it was always like, yeah, it's easy for you to say you don't work a laborer's job. You're in the fucking gym. You're not fucking tired. It's
Yeah.
like your job is to meal prep, look good, and then take pictures of yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, but I really had to like slowly taper that mentality out the way. I still do kind of hate it. I hate that like you're a bitch mentality. I hate that.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
think that actually one of the documentaries that Kelly was working on the soundtrack is that like weight loss one.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Anti-Diet Diet Club
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's such a deep psychology to, you know, like you said, you don't just wake up and you're like, oh, I gained 200 pounds. Like it happens so gradually with high cortisol because of stress and poor eating habits over time. And I think that one of the things that's really powerful that Kelly tells his clients a lot is think about how much time it took you to gain that weight. Now think about when you lose it, it's going to probably take equal, if not more, time to do the same thing. So just be patient with the process because it didn't happen overnight to get there, and it's not going to happen overnight to come back from it.
Yeah.
Period. And so, yeah, I think that all the outside factors that have so much to do with why people go down such a unhealthy path, there needs to be so much more grace for that, because the influencers that are like, it's all or nothing, or it's this or that, or if you don't, you're a bitch, then you're missing the whole like human element of why that happens to people and why it's so fucking hard to get away from it. And 90% of the time people don't do what we did and like just slow gradual decline and decide they never go back. It's more of what you're experiencing, where it's like you go back and forth, because that's a huge part of it. And to deny that is just, you're never going to actually help somebody.
Yeah.
If that's the mentality that you've got. 'Cause that's just not real life.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also like, for me, it was just like, I don't know, don't talk to me like that. You know, like I'm not, like, it's not about me being a bitch. I was like, oh shit, what is that? Andale. It is though, because it's like, in that time, I feel like people don't need to hear like, oh, you're being a little bitch. People need to hear like, it's okay. Like more motivation, like the way you're saying
or
that.
what
Like
you
Kelly
feel
put it in
is
perspective.
normal.
Yeah. You know,
It's very normal to not have it together, to not feel motivated, to have to rely on discipline. And then discipline's already a hard tool to build. Like,
yeah.
I think it's just, I think some people would need it. I think it varies for everyone, right? You know, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Some people thrive in it, but I think, and me personally, I don't know. People can chime in the comments, but I feel like you have to have a certain mentality, obviously, to be part of those like workout classes and workout groups or that structure. But also, I feel like you have to have already been in a journey in order to join that. Because like a lot of people, when you're bigger, like for me, I never really had a lot of like gym anxiety, because I was used to the gym, but there are people who are like, this is their first time in a gym. This is their first time in a workout class. And, it's really hard to step into an uncomfortable situation around a lot of fit people, and you being, and I'm sorry to say this, I don't mean this in any other way because I'm fat, but like you being the only fat person in that group. And now you have extra anxiety because you want to keep up with everybody. You want to be able to do the 10, 15, 20 push-ups or the
you
squats.
showed up for a reason.
Yeah. Or the mile run, and you can't. So like for you to call somebody a bitch when they're trying to do something better for themselves, it's kind of just have like a different approach to it. Because, because you've been like Silvia said, like that trainer gradually got to where they are and the condition that they are in. You as your first person or the first time in that environment, it's not your first time, and you're like obviously gonna be huffing and puffing, and you're not gonna be able to keep up, and you can't do that one push-up, and here's this one person calling you a bitch because you can't do one. Like that's kind of like, bro, you know?
Yeah, it's like knock them when they're down type of thing. Yeah. I think the like don't be a bitch thing works when you're within like the same type of people, right? Like if you're all like we've already been working out and we're at this level already, and now your instructor or your trainer or whatever is calling you a bitch, it's like, all right, you're right, like I can push more.
Yeah, like Sunny now calls me a bitch, you know. Like the other day we were doing like goblet squats, and he gave me the heaviest fucking kettlebell he has, and then I was like, hey, wait, no mames neta, and he's like, dude, don't be a bitch. I was like, okay.
No, my trainer does that to me too, you know, and I'm like over here fucking crying, and she's like looking at me, and it's just like the mom look, and I'm like, okay, like you know. But like at the beginning, that probably wouldn't have worked with me. Like I would have been like, what? Like give me a smaller weight because I just can't, you know. And now I'm like, okay, you're right, I can. And
then there's the folks with trauma, and that's just how they roll. And we don't yuck anyone's yum, so that's okay. That's cool.
But now I'm calling myself a bitch sometimes when I'm in the gym. Like I love hitting legs. Like I have a weird obsession with my fucking legs. And I was squatting. I was doing like supersets the other day in the gym, and I was doing squats, and then I was doing goblet squats, and then I don't know what these are called, but when you put your heels on top of the plate and then
the offset squat.
Just the elevated.
Elevated ones, right? And I was putting more. I wasn't gonna put more weight on the squat rack because I was doing so much already, but then I like looked at the plate of 45 and I was like, don't be a fucking bitch. And I grabbed it. And the whole time I'm squatting, I was like, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch.
Just shaking your leg.
And I'm like I will snap my fucking knees right now.
That's how I am with myself. Because, you know, I told you guys I got to the 100 push-ups a day. If there's days that like, I swear like I'm at 80 or 90, it's like, I think I should stop here. It's like, no, I can't. Like I've already reached 100. I have to do it. Or like if I'm like, gradually running too. I can't do 3 miles of running, but I'm gradually trying to get up there. And like I reached to the part where like, all right, I can do a mile of running, but then like there's points where I want to give up. Like, you know, like you're just jogging, you're like, I want to stop. It's like, no, you can't do less than what you've already like
there's a new
worked
benchmark.
up to. So that's when I call myself a bitch. If I want to do it.
I think it's healthy.
Calling me a bitch doesn't work. Period.
So. Celia just walks out.
I'm fucking leaving. A mí no me van a estar hablando así. I straight up tell my trainer if I'm not paying you for me to come here and for you to tell me that I need to put more weight on there, I'm not going to do it. Like I just know myself really well, and I feel like that's where you have to get a little bit of help if you're dealing with the anxiety of the gym. My biggest suggestion is to get a trainer, even if it's for like a 6-month period, just to teach you how, what, where everything is, why you should be doing the things that you're doing and building out that program. Because if you're feeling anxious, you're not really like in the most promising environment to get out of that anxiety. You're literally fatiguing your body and you're getting so uncomfortable. It's such a vulnerable thing to work out and to sweat and to fatigue your muscles, and then to just not know what the fuck's going on or where to find anything on top of that it's a lot. So you're kind of setting yourself up for failure if you've never been in that space and you have anxiety around that space and you don't automatically ask for help. Like you should ask somebody, even if it's for 2 months. Can I see you every week? Can you help me build out a program? And what does it look like when I do this? And then if you feel comfortable, do it on your own. But I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong, is they go into those settings and they either go to group fitness classes where they don't know anybody, or they go into a gym and you're just like, you got that deer in headlights look, and you're just like, and now what?
Walking around, like not knowing what to do or what to use.
But it's one of the environments where it's, I think, the most encouraged to ask for help, but everyone's so afraid to. I
personally like the classes only because of my time frame, that when I can work out, it's when everybody and their mothers can go work out. And
you like your personal training.
Yeah, my personal training. I hate going to the fucking gym, and the routine that I had planned for that day, I can't do it because 50 million other people are doing it, and now I'm waiting for a machine. And now when I'm waiting for the machine, I'm just I'm looking at what to do, or the whatever. Let's say I'm doing legs and all the squat racks are taking. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go do leg extension, and that's freaking taking, and even the abductor machine is taking, you know. And it's like, okay, what do I do? So now I'm like unmotivated in there.
Find alternatives,
or it
like
fucks up your flow.
You see, I can do that, but like my mind doesn't work that way. Like I go in there with the mentality of I'm only hitting this group today, and if I switch it up, then it just kind of fucks with me.
Yeah.
That's what my trainer's for.
Yeah. I personally really dislike the gym. Like, I don't really care
I
to
still
go to
hate
a
it.
gym
The
by
traditional
myself.
gym.
Like a traditional gym. Yeah. Going to a personal trainer changed my life. Like, I will probably never go back. You know, like, I rather spend the money on the 3 times a week that I see her than I know that if I go get a gym membership, it's cheaper. And I do know how to do all the workouts on my own now, you know? But like you said, if I'm not paying someone to freaking yell at me and tell me to do something, I won't do it on my own. Like,
Yeah.
I would never pick up the 44-pound dumbbell to do a squat on my own, you know? Like, that's because she gave it to me, and it's almost like if they believe in me, then I can do it, you know? Because that's
You're
really
doing great, sweetie.
Literally.
because like I would never like on my own, like I look at that dumbbell and I'm like, that's huge. Like, I'm not fucking Hulk. Like, I'm just a girl. Like, so yeah.
Also, there is like just like the mental aspect of like, I don't have to do that extra work of bringing that 45-pound plate
my
over here to rack it onto my, like she does it all for me.
that's
And
true.
then I just do the workout and it's amazing.
That's true. Cause I do find myself like just kind of standing there while she's putting all the weights on there.
Thank you.
I have gotten
is
to the
nice.
point though. I noticed that the other day. I was like farmer walking my ass with the dumbbells to the other side of the gym, and I'm like, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck is this guy?
No, but that's really good that you guys, like both of you, can push yourselves to just do it on your own, you know? And like, I don't know,
I think
maybe
that's
it's
the
like,
hardest part.
yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. And just like going up in weight and being able to challenge yourself on your own. Cause I for sure don't have that mentality.
I've always been that. I don't know about you, Jesus, but I've always been that way because of football. So I've always had the like.
You're trained that way.
Well, yeah, because I've always had the mentality of like, if this shit is like workout wise, if this like whatever it is that I'm doing is taken. Like I like group workouts, but I hate the group workout aspect because I hate waiting around. So when I was in the weight room, I would work out kind of by myself because I was like, I can just push through my workout and then
Yeah.
I can move on to the next thing. Porque me desespero.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my ADHD or what the fuck it is.
I learned that when we try to go to the gym together.
Yeah.
Mario and I
What's-
do
I
not
wanna
do
hear
well
this.
working out together.
Yeah. Porque me desespero because like, I don't know. I need to be.
I want to hear it from her perspective. I liked that reaction. Oh, it's that deep. We're not going to talk about it.
No, we'll talk about it. When we weren't living together yet. No, we weren't living together yet. And we started going to spin classes, but at World Gym. So that's how we met Juan and Pati, which is my personal trainer now. We would go to spin, and a lot of the times we would get to spin class, and the spin class was already full because you couldn't sign up ahead of time. Like, you just had to get there early. And so I had like we're already here, like, let's do something.
Yeah.
Mario had like, well, let's go to Denny's because they're open mentality. And so we would like go back and forth, and sometimes we'd go to breakfast, sometimes we'd stay. But I actually started really disliking working out with Mario because in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm coming to the gym with someone that knows what they're doing because I don't know what I'm doing. So I want the help. And to him, it was like, you're doing it wrong. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, he couldn't understand.
He did that shit on purpose. He wanted to go get his flapjacks.
Probably. And then it got to the
fool you.
I wanted my grand slam, right?
You're probably right. It got to the point where like he was just angry all day because we had gone to the gym in the morning. And so then
this is the opposite effect that this should have on our lives. What's happening?
I'll never forget this because I went to Disney with my mom that day after, because we used to have the Disney pass at the time, and we were texting, and he was just so mad because we had gotten up early to go to the gym, where I was like, I thought we were supposed to be helping each other to like motivate each other to get up early, you know? And I'm like walking at like around Disney with my mom, and I remember I like looked at her and I was like, either Mario and I stop going to the gym together or we break up. Like, this isn't gonna work. And she was like, what is happening? And I was like, he's just always mad because he's tired. And like, yeah, that's what
wants
happens.
to go to Denny's.
And so that
Call
was
it
the
what
day.
it is.
That was the day
Big
where I
back
was
activity.
like,
That's what I really wanted.
Kelly and I had to stop working out because I told him when we first started dating, I was like, I will bitch and complain the entire time I'm working out. I fucking hate it. I crave moving my body now, and I love movement, but the gym is like the last place I want to be. I actually genuinely hate it. And I still don't like it. So I have to pay someone so that I have to be accountable for going there and showing up and doing this.
Well, I already spent my money.
I get a free membership because I teach there. But
hey, Pat, I know you're listening to this. I want to go work out on Sundays.
no, but I just would go work out with him, and I prefaced it because it's not fun to listen to somebody complain.
No.
And I know that. So at least I was conscious. And in my mind, I was like, well, I told him, so it's no big deal. Mm-hmm. But I would bitch and complain and bitch and complain. And then weeks into us working out together, we were at the Fit in Mission Beach that has like the beautiful turf on the outside. And he was doing like the ski erg, and we were just warming up. And he takes his shirt off and he's all fucking cut, looking good, sweaty. It's all sunny outside. And I was like, damn, you look so hot. This motherfucker stops mid-row and he looks at me and he goes, I would say the same thing about you, except then you open your mouth to complain and it's not hot anymore. And I was like,
Damn.
ouch, we can't work out together anymore. I was like, Haley, when are you available? And so I got a trainer. And now we're much happier because now when I go to the gym with him, it would make me angry. Like we kept working out after that, and I was holding my tongue because I was like, I'm not
complain.
a bitch. I'm hot. and so I would stop complaining, but then I would leave super angry because I didn't get the angst out of like, yes, I know I'm doing this for a reason. I'm in theory happy to be doing this for my body, but like in reality, I don't enjoy this. This fucking sucks. I hate that I have to do this. And so when I don't get that frustration out, like it's not working putting it into the weights because I don't even want to do that. Yeah. So it became a conflict of interest. We had to separate church and state a little bit.
Sometimes you just have to do that. Yeah. I feel like Mario and I do really well on like, oh yeah, let's go for like a walk or a bike ride, like things like that. But going to like a weight room, like because even like the time I went with him to his personal training, because we've done like he's come with me once and I went with him, I could feel like the competition in him, and it's just like we're not competing, bro. Like I'm just a girl. Like okay.
It's funny because Ernesto mentioned bike riding, and I'm so competitive. Like sometimes we'll go on leisure bike rides, and I'm like fucking 10 miles down the road because I'm like, and I'm like, why are you not catching up with me? What the fuck?
Yeah. So, but you see, for the listeners, she is a fitness instructor and she doesn't even like going to the gym. So it's okay to not going to the gym, to complain, to not want to do it. You know, I think the lesson in all of this is just like, we know what's good for us, and we just have to, there's times where we have to do things we don't like because we know that it's going to be good for us in the long run. And I think all of us here can agree that like, no, I don't fucking love going to like work out all the time, but I want to, feel better, and I know that it's going to help me. And eventually you do get to the point where like if you don't get some kind of movement in, you're kind of like, wait, like
for sure.
I need something. Like I need to at least go for a walk or something. And it really does help, just like even going outside and walking for 30 minutes, I feel like will help kind of supplement that.
Yeah, whenever I go to Roar, like there's days where like it's like I don't feel like doing this. Like I'm just gonna slow walk. Just enjoy the thing.
Yeah. And you do, and you still got movement in, and I mean every day is different. I feel like I've tried for the longest time kind of like cycle syncing my workouts, and I fail because the weeks that I'm not supposed to be going to the personal training, I go anyway because those are the weeks you're supposed to be doing like low impact and like
the same
Pilates,
problem I teach spin.
Yeah.
So even if I'm on my period and I'm not supposed to be doing spin, I don't have a fucking choice. I have to show up and teach all these people spin. Like, yeah. But yeah,
I mean, I think it's you listen to your body, you give it what it needs at the time. But still push yourselves, because I think
that's not really to beat the dead horse, but the habits are really like what make it. It's the workout you're going to stick to is the workout you enjoy. So if you don't like the gym and you're not paying somebody and you're not holding yourself accountable, you're going to fail because you don't enjoy doing it. And so over aesthetics, over anything else, my biggest recommendation is to ask for help when you need it and to find something you genuinely like to do. That's what spin and boxing were for me. Like boxing, I found out through boxing that a lot of your punch comes from your lower body. And I had skinny legs in high school. So then when I gained weight and I didn't have those like really trim legs, I hated my legs. I still don't wear shorts a lot. I still find myself constantly criticizing the cellulite on my legs because I just don't like the size of them.
I saw you in a black leather skirt the other day and I was like, oh,
I do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Every time I feel super
that.
self-conscious about my legs, I'll wear shorts to teach and I'll wear like short skirts to be like, get over your shit. And I found out through boxing that so much power comes from your lower body that it made me like love my legs again. Cause I was like, oh shit, I'm a strong ass bitch.
Yes.
And now I'm a lot stronger than I was then too. So like my butt is plumper and everything just feels stronger. And so you just learn like a new love for it, but you have to find those things.
Yeah.
If you don't like cardio, then don't do it. Go find something else that you actually enjoy to do. Cause if
or what I've been doing is I've been watching anime while doing cardio or my workouts too. Just putting it in between.
Yeah, that was actually a bullet point that I had, was like combining something with what you like.
Totally.
Yeah, because that kind of went hand in hand with the excuse of not having time. But then like how many times time do you spend doom scrolling after work? You know, like, and if you want to doom scroll, there's nothing wrong with it. Just doom scroll on a walk, you know, or on a walking pad, or find a way where you can incorporate the activity where you're actively moving your body while you're doing the whatever habit that it is.
Yeah. Even if it's just to start that way, you know, and then eventually you can like wean it off if you want to or whatever. You can keep doing it. But I think it's a great way to just like start getting that movement into your life, especially if you're not getting a lot of it.
Yeah. What I started doing, I'm already used to it, but I always shower in afternoon. So the way I set it up is I work, and right after like 4:30 when I clock out, I'm doing my workouts. Either I go for a run or I'm doing my in-home workouts, and that forces me to shower. And the way I see it is like I need to do my workout before I shower every day. So I guess I forget where I was going with this.
That's your motivation.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
Yeah.
like before I shower, I have to work out, or I have to make the sweat. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good motivation because like you obviously don't want to work out after you showered because you already showered, you know. So it's just like getting it in.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Yeah. It really is just finding those little things that work for you. And I think at least personally, like I could speak from my personal experience when like I started with spin and that's what I really enjoyed. And at one point it wasn't even good for my health anymore because it was so early and so many lights and such loud music that I realized it was raising my cortisol. But I was still doing it because it was good for my mental health. And so I was like, I have to keep doing this. Like it's really helping me mentally. And then I found myself wanting more than just spin after that, you know? And like now I'm like at my personal trainer and like I go 3 times a week and I wish I could afford to go 5 times a week, you know? And it's like, you eventually get to this point where you just want to keep pushing yourself and like finding new things or like finding new ways to get different type of movement into your life that is gonna better your health.
Listen to some Bad Bunny.
Yeah, it is motivating.
Yeah.
The new album is a perfect workout album for
it actually.
Yeah, but I think I mean we can work out all we want though too, but unless we're also changing like our other habits, like as far as like eating and sleep.
Yeah,
and then I'm a huge emotional eater. Like as soon as I'm stressed, and I've said this before on the podcast. As soon as I'm stressed, like I just want a fucking bag of chips. Yeah, and I'll down that shit.
I want a box of crumble cookies.
You can't anymore.
I can't anymore. Korean barbecue, but that is like another struggle that I struggled with was just the emotional eating aspect of it. And like I said earlier, it was like working out for the wrong reasons, wanting to be skinny versus healthy.
Yeah. Stress is a huge one, and right now I'm feeling that where my hormones have finally leveled out and I'm gaining my muscle back, but I'm not seeing a huge movement on my fat loss again because I'm really stressed out. I'm overworked. I am stressed about money. I'm stressed about so many things in my life right now that it's just nothing I do is actually going to work. And I don't think people realize that something as simple as fixing your sleep, fixing your stress levels, and then just going on a walk every day is literally the best fucking thing you can do. If you can dial that in and then add good nutrition on top, you don't even need the gym. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to be going to the classes. You don't need to be doing all these fancy things. You don't even need the at-home workouts. Walking is the most underrated form of movement possible. And none of it is even going to work if you're chronically stressed, if you're not eating well, and you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Like even sleep, just as your foundation, if you're not regenerating in your sleep, it doesn't matter how much you're doing. It's worth literally nothing.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. And so I think a lot of people also get it wrong by thinking, I have to do all this shit. I have to go to the gym. And then you get stressed out about the action of how you're going to lose all this weight when you're not addressing even the baseline for what your body needs to even receive all of what's on the end of that other work that you want to do.
Yeah. And well, to add to that was just like nourishing your body.
Yeah.
You know, like I limited some. I mean, Paul gets on my case sometimes too, because sometimes I'll get home from a workout y no tengo hambre. You know, so it's like
you have
happens
to
to me
get your
too.
protein in.
yeah, or like limiting my food or not giving myself the proper nutrients. Like okay, no tengo hambre, but like gulp down a fucking protein shake. You know, porque si no, palió madre, like your workout just went down the drain if you didn't, right?
Because if I handed you a bag of chips, you'd eat it.
Fuck yeah.
So then your freaking protein shake.
You know what? You got to get on those protein chips. Have you ever seen
No.
those?
Yeah, we saw them at Costco the other day. And I
So
picked them up and looked at the
There's
ingredients.
a brand. They're called Wild Chips,
Uh-huh.
and they're made out of chicken. They're literally chicken chips, and they have one that's what is it called? They're called chicken and waffles flavored ones. They're fucking
I'm gonna try
fire.
those.
Oh,
They're
we gotta
so
look for those.
good.
Yeah.
I have to edit with things like that because if I'm not eating things I actually enjoy eating, I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's like the gym. Like if I don't like it, I don't like it, and you're not gonna make me do it. So I've had to like find, and it's a lot easier now than I think it was years ago. Years ago, everything tasted like cardboard. Like it was so disgusting to be healthy. Now I feel like there's so many things that actually taste good and they're healthy. Like we found these candies called Joyrides, and they only have like 4 grams of sugar, but they taste just like sour candy because I fucking hate Smart Sweets. They're all gummy and disgusting.
Shout out
like,
Ryan.
What is that?
Ryan, he's the owner. He's a YouTuber.
Of Smart
Joyride.
Sweets?
Of
Joyride?
Yeah.
Tell him to hook me up. Looking for a sponsor. I tell everybody about that shit. Now I'm sad because I go to Sprouts and they're all gone, and I'm like, shit, I should have kept my mouth shut.
That's probably why they're gone, because
They're always at Target, I think, too.
Yeah.
You can find them at Target.
They're at Vaughn's too, but they're like twice the price at Vaughn's. Fucking ridiculous.
Everything's
Vaughn's
twice the price at Vaughn's.
know,
I hate
why?
grocery shopping at Vaughn's.
So stupid. But yeah, finding little things like protein chips, candy I actually can eat and not feel like guilty about. And then you don't have to get rid of like the fun in your life. I think for me, that's the part where I forget like what movie this is from, but he's like, I don't want to like eat lettuce for my whole life just for the promise of eating lettuce for 3 more years at the end of it, just to like prolong my life eating more fucking lettuce. Like, I believe that. Like, I want to live a long, healthy, joyful, mobile, like sane life, but I don't want to do it if it's at the expense of me just eating fucking celery all the fucking time. Like it's no es vida. Like I don't. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I need to find the little hacks so I can balance it, or else it's not working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I started going to my nutritionist, that was the conversation I had with her. It's like, listen, like I know that my health right now is crap, and like my blood work came back. For the US, it all came back normal. In Mexico, they tell, because I go to my nutritionist in Mexico, they tell you like, in the US, like the levels are just not, so in reality, she was like, no, there's a lot of things that we need to fix. And I was like,
cool, y'all are obese actually. So
here, let's actually fix them. But I my first argument with her was my coffee. And I was like, I can't drink black coffee. I don't like black coffee, and I enjoy coffee. Can't take it away from me, right? Yeah. So we had this whole conversation about how like I just enjoy food and I don't want to be limited to the point where like I can't eat anything. I understand that I can't eat it every day all day,
for sure,
but I want to be able to eat it once in a while, or just like cuando se me antoje. Like if I'm at a party and there's a cookie, I want to be able to eat the cookie, So we had this conversation, and it actually helped a lot because during the first few months that I was going with her, she started teaching me how to eat. And it was never you can't eat the cookie, you can't eat the chips, you can't eat the popcorn. It was always this is how you're going to eat it. And so she taught me different like little hacks to where if I want to eat the cookie, for example, eat it right after you eat your meal, like your full protein meal, because it helps with your glucose spikes. And because your glucose is already spiked. He's laughing because I tell everybody this story.
No, I'm laughing because I like after all this, after she had that conversation with her nutrologa, I'll eat my protein or I'll eat dinner and I'm like, where's my cookie?
Yeah. No, I do too though. I'm like, I can eat it right now. Like my window's closing.
Yeah.
I think you told me about that because I started doing that now. Like I have like my peanut butter like right after my dinner, like kind of my snack.
Yeah,
like a scoop of peanut butter.
Yeah.
People like, I mean, I used
talked
to eat
about that
peanut
earlier.
butter off of spoon. So, and then like with Mario,
because we were talking the other day about like our biological clocks as women, and we were like, we just don't feel like we're there yet, but the cookie window is pressing.
that one is pressing. So then when I took Mario to the nutrologa, he was talking about chips and popcorn, and at the time it was like we had this like popcorn addiction, and she was like, well, eat your popcorn, just eat some cucumber before you eat the popcorn. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that would help. And so the cucumber neutralizes the carb in the popcorn. And so your glucose is still going to spike, but it's going to come back down a lot faster.
Yep.
So it's really just a matter of like learning how and when to eat it versus like my explanation is like, don't walk past the cookie box and just eat a cookie because that's not good because now that's the first thing that hit your stomach. And so your glucose spikes and takes longer.
Even with your coffee, you should never have coffee on an empty stomach because it's bad for your hormones. And then like just eat a protein yogurt and then have your coffee or have like, I don't know, something else in the morning. Just fill your stomach first and then have your coffee. It's little things like that we're just not taught either. And so if you don't know them and you don't ask for the help, then you don't know how to eat.
Oh my God. Coffee was my breakfast for 25 years of my life. Like, well, I'm not, that's a little dramatic, but like 15 years of my life, coffee was my breakfast. Like I was not a breakfast person and I was the typical, like, I'm just not hungry in the mornings. And then, well, now I learned that just means because there was a bunch of unbalanced things in my body, you know, specifically hormonal and the coffee messing it up every single morning. And so then I learned like, okay, you have to eat protein before you drink your coffee. And I will not take a sip of coffie anymore until I eat. Like we'll go to breakfast and the first thing they'll bring is like the coffee. Yeah. Seriously. They'll bring the coffee and it just like sits there until my food gets there. Cause I'm like, well, I can't, I'm not gonna, like I've done this for so long now that I don't want to like mess up my, but I think it's just really important to learn how to eat things versus like not letting yourself eat these things. Because for me, like that would have been a like really big challenge and like probably wouldn't have gone through with all of the changes that I've made if you told me like you can't drink the coffee the way you like it, you can't eat the cookie, you know.
What's the word no that nobody likes? Nobody wants to be told no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so I think that's where a lot of the industry gets it wrong. Like the more you limit people, the more they're going to want to do something. So if you tell people like, I can offer you this instead, or let's try it this way, or just find something you like to do. What do you want to eat? That's one of the things that Kelly and I ask a lot of our clients, like, what do you enjoy? Okay, now let me work with that and figure out how I can still keep that joy in your life while you're also working towards your goals. Because the goal isn't to make your life miserable. Yeah.
And it obviously depends a lot on your goals, right? Like I'm not out here trying to get a 6-pack. So like, I know I can afford to eat the cookie, but if your goal is to get a 6-pack, like you probably can't eat the cookie, you know? But so it does also depend on your goals. But I think just overall, if you're just looking to like be a little healthier and have healthier habits, like I think what we've learned along the way is a good way to like go about it.
Do you go to the movies often?
Not anymore.
I was gonna ask if you take your cucumber with you.
No.
Bro, I was such a big bag in the fucking movie theater. Dude, we would drop money on that shit. We would go to AMC.
That's what it's for.
And I would get the nachos and I would get popcorn, but then my big back ass and like a shit ton of jalapeno. Se me está haciendo agua la boca.
Oh, does that count? Because that's a vegetable, no?
The jalapeno?
Yeah, no.
It doesn't count.
I would grab a
Bunch of fat asses. Like, where's that on the food table?
Where's that on the pyramid?
And you put the butter also. The fake butter.
but I would grab a chip and I would dip it in the cheese, and then I would grab that nacho and I would dip it in the popcorn. So
It's an amazing
Is it?
taste.
fucking
Yeah.
Sounds good.
orgasmic. And then I'd put a jalapeno on there.
Do you need a
oh my
moment?
god, it was so good.
It tastes really good. Yeah.
I remember that I was so embarrassed the first time I showed up out, and I was like, I don't know if I want to
Well,
show
I
her
used to always
my
do
big back activity.
the popcorn on the nacho, but then when he added the jalapeno, I was like, oh, burst of flavors.
It was like that scene in Ratatouille.
Yeah.
When he bites
Or
the
you do the
cheese
hot
with the-
Cheetos too.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
times.
no, and to answer your question more, there's times where like I don't do it. You know, it's not like I'm gonna go to movies with my pepino and just like eat it first and then eat my
Whoa.
popcorn. Or like if I'm at a party, like
The
I'm
person
just
in
gonna
front of
eat
you
what
just
I'm gonna
hears, and they turn around and she's just got a cucumber. It's like,
Well,
what
it's
the
funny
fuck?
because when Mario first started doing it, he was just so annoyed that he had to eat the pepino first. Like he'd be making popcorn, and I'd be like, "Don't forget to eat your cucumber," and he'd like grab it and
Cucumbers
cut
are
it.
fire,
all
though.
annoyed.
Yeah,
all
I
annoyed.
was just annoyed of it.
You have to eat it like during the commercials. That way you don't eat your popcorn early.
That's actually kind of
Ooh.
smart because we do always finish our
Bring your
snacks
cucumber
before
I know
the
it really
movie
stresses me
starts.
out when we go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
because we're done with that shit, but
By the
before the
time-
movie even starts.
I'm a candy girl. I need my red vines. I need
I
my sour
love red
candy.
vines at a movie. At a
Or
movie
Joey.
theater.
I have my thing. I have my large drink, my large popcorn, and I have my dibs.
My Coke slushy. That's my shit.
Really?
Coke slushy.
Fuck yeah.
That's
I
what-
love a
yeah.
Coke slushy.
Do you know what dibs are?
Yeah, the
I-
ice creams.
Every time I have to get it, and if they don't have it, I swear, like I'm gonna crash out.
Damn, that's intense. You guys better
Yeah,
have
that's
dibs.
deep.
But yeah, to your point at the beginning, definitely nutrition is very important for the whole journey in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Well,
everything else.
Well,
along
not,
with
yeah. I
it.
mean, what I meant about nutrition was just like keeping your like emotional stress in check.
Yeah.
To like what triggers you to want
Oh,
to
that's
eat
true.
that. You
I
know,
did
like
think that to myself. The first time I went to a nutrióloga, she was like, "How stressed are you?" And I was like, "The fuck you care?" Like
You're
I'm
my
very
nutritionist,
stressed.
not
Like,
my
yeah.
therapist. Can we get on track?
And then that's one of the, like when I started. I mean, I kind of already knew that stress affected your like weight gain and stuff, but that's when I realized how much it starts to like affect it too.
which is
Yeah.
so hard. I think this past year I've gotten like a lot better at like letting things go or being a lot more passive with things because I really am an emotional and a stress eater. And when I started to figure out like the cortisol and all this other shit like affects your fucking weight, you know?
He's so mad that he knows these things.
Yeah, I fucking hate these words. It's like corporate America. I hate corporate talk.
Hold on. Side note. Yesterday he walks into the house and he was with my godson, and our godson was sick, and he walks into the house. He's like, I gotta take oregano oil, and he's like walking into the house to the pantry, and Danny and
He's a
Millie
new
were here,
man.
and I was like, y'all hear that? Like, I did that.
I did it.
I did it.
It's like now like my trigger words are like initiatives and like
Oh, damn.
and then a big word.
I
Like,
know,
You're
corporate
looking at me a
words.
little crazy. I don't
Yeah,
like
no,
it.
those
Look,
used
look
to be
that
your
way.
trigger
yeah,
words.
these used to be my trigger words. It was like corporate talk. Like, what are your initiatives for this quarter? I was like, shut up. Just
And
here
now
for
it's
it.
glucose.
Yeah, it's like spiking my glucose. But yeah, no, but it's like dealing with all that, and it was like I had to get to the bottom. I can work out all fucking day, and eat chicken and rice all fucking day. But if I'm not also dealing with other aspects of my life and
Yep.
learning to let go and like getting down to like the nitty gritty, right? Like the emotional aspect of losing weight, you know, because it was a lot of that was a lot of stuff that I dealt with was just the emotional stuff. Like the more like when in the midst of my weight gain, I was dealing with a lot of stress. We had just shut down the business. I couldn't work out. I couldn't do anything. It was COVID. It was fucking illegal to go out and see people.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
had
was
gout
just,
attacks
I
every
had
other
gout
week.
attacks left and right. Like I was just so stressed. Like my body was just under so much stress. Like I could have been working out all day, but like if I didn't handle that aspect of my life, it would have valido madre. It would have been, it would have taken me longer to lose the weight.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's like another point that I wanted to hit was just like making sure your head's in check, basically.
Yeah.
Like go to therapy. You know, I mean, says the guy that hasn't gone to therapy. But I started a podcast. So. Because men don't go to therapy. We start podcasts. But
Boo. No, the other one would have been better for this.
Eso.
I fucking love that sound bit.
So good.
But dealing with that is also like something like, because like I just said, like you can work out all fucking day and you can eat all the chicken and rice you want, but if you're not dealing with the other parts of your life that's bringing you stress, it's still gonna raise your cortisol levels, and then it's gonna fucking make you gain weight too, and you're gonna be all puffy and shit because you're stressed.
I think in my personal experience, I almost used the working out as a form of therapy at the beginning, and like it helped me get through things that I didn't even realize were going on mentally, you know?
Yeah.
So
You have to talk to somebody, Paulina.
I do. I do. I really do.
Tú cállate.
But I think what you're saying is 100% on point. I just think that sometimes if you just start working out, it'll start to help you also.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Yeah. It is such a mental aspect, but I think it's more the life stress, sleep, because also when you're stressed, you're staying up late and
You're
so
eating more.
it all compounds. So if you're not addressing just your basics first and then getting into that, then the workout will naturally also help with all those things, and then it just compounds for positive effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hard because you touched on a subject that like currently I'm in. It's like right now I'm like super financially stressed, and like I'm stressed out at work, and then like, you know, trying to deal with the podcast stuff as far as like growing the brand, and then merch that hasn't sold, and like all these other outside factors that I'm like, that's some things I don't have control over.
For sure.
And learning to let go, and like, which is hard because like in some instances, you know, we're business owners, so like it's hard
Because
to
you
let
give
go
a
of that.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to let go of that
Yeah.
stress. But there are certain things where it's like I have no control over people calling me and booking me. You know, there's
Yeah.
some things I can put into place as far as like marketing, but like, you know, I can't put a gun to people's head and be like, book me to clean your fucking carpets. You know?
Or can you?
Shit.
Shit.
So, you know, learning to
Did it work?
You have couches.
You did, yeah. So learning to let go of certain things it's still a work in progress, but it's something that I had to come to terms with as of recently, because I know that's also affecting me on other levels, because that also like affects other areas in your life, because then I'm mute at home because I'm stressed out and I don't want to talk to Paulina, or you know, my sex drive isn't there because I'm worried about how the fuck am I going to pay bills next month, you know? So it's just like one thing after another that it's like deal with it, Mario, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's hard, so we're you know, go to therapy.
No, it is hard, and
recommend.
I think life in general is just really heavy right now. I think it always is, but it's just been a lot heavier like this year, you know? And just listening to you right now is like a moment of like, I don't know. I am proud of you, but it is like a moment of pride because a year ago you would have never had this conversation, right? Like you would have never admitted like, I am stressed and I need to fix it. You would have just been like,
He sat up a little
"Grr."
taller.
I know.
Yeah, you deserve it. Sit up one more inch.
You know, you would have just been like, yeah, I'm stressed. I'm a man, and this is how I handle things, right? And it's just kind of like, okay. And then here I am, like, well, you should go to therapy, and I'm not gonna go to therapy. I'm gonna start a podcast. And
Don't
I'm
tell
like,
me how to
okay.
live my life.
Yeah. And then, you know, so I think like even just recognizing that these are factors that can affect your mental health, your weight, that you know affects your mental health as well, you know, like just all of the little pieces that you're able to connect now, like it's a huge step, and that alone will help you get so much further than just like being in this state of denial or just being in this state of like, yes, stressed but also angry. And right now you're like stressed but with like a little bit of clarity, you know. So I think that also makes a big difference. What?
I was just laughing. Stressed with a little bit of clarity.
Stress
I
with
like
a
that.
little bit of clarity.
Yeah. That's best case scenario.
He was like, I'm just fucking stressed. Where the fuck is my
Oh, yeah.
cookie?
Seriously though.
Yeah.
Yo,
my
Crumble,
God, that
y'all want a
cupcake.
sponsor?
Dude, oh, crumble cookie.
I'll take Joyride. I'm gonna double down on that. I'm gonna double down on that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it is hard, especially, I don't know, coming from my background and like how my family dealt with stress, specifically the male figures in my life. It was very, very traditional. So it really did affect me a lot when like I felt like I couldn't express myself, or because I was stressed. And this example, because I work with my dad and he was stressed, and we were both very much the type of people who was like, no one else can figure this shit out except for me, and I got to figure it out, and I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And like, you couldn't really go to anybody else, because like, what the fuck were they gonna do? Just listen to you and tell you everything was all right? Like, I can do that for myself. So I can be my own cheer up, or I can be my own shoulder to cry on. And that was my mentality for such a long time, up until like recently, where I was like, okay, now I really just do need to start expressing myself and learning to let go of things. Like I said, like, I know I sound like a broken record, but it really is just that, like, learning to let go. And so many things, I think maybe this past year, I don't know if I'm coming to a come to Jesus moment, but like, you know, ¿cómo es?
Well, you brought Jesus to you.
Yeah, Jesucristo. Cliches are out there for a reason. I forgot what it was in Spanish. You know, los dichos están porque están. You know, and a lot of things have come into, I guess, the light recently. I don't even know how to word it. Where it's like, okay, shit, everything that, you know, Pao has been saying for the past 4 years is true, but it just took me a really long time in order to get there.
Yeah.
Típico hombres.
She's like, say it again.
Yeah.
Jesus, are you an emotional eater?
Emotional eater?
Yeah.
No, I just like eating when I'm watching something. I don't know what that's called.
Which is all the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to figure out why you emotionally eat? Like why that's the thing?
I haven't gotten there yet. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is a reason.
Yeah. I always wonder because, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I feel like I've heard stories where like people that grow up poor and they don't have access to food. And then when they do, they overeat because it's that trauma of like, but I don't have that. So I'm constantly trying to figure out why I want to fucking stuff my face all the time. Because it doesn't have like a logical sense for why that's my reaction. And so I'm wondering if you've ever thought about it for you.
No, not until right now that you said that. But I mean, that could be a thing. Like we weren't extremely poor, but like, you know, we were limited in resources.
Like, I'm an adult and I can buy my own Lucky Charms now.
The first time we went grocery shopping together when we moved out, literally we bought all the cereals, never ate them.
I think there was a picture of me with like 5 cereals at Walmart.
No, that's a real thing.
I can do this now.
Yeah, but that could be, you know, a factor of why I do emotional eat, is because when I was younger, I didn't have, you know, the access to a bag of fucking chips. It was whatever it was Pops, because that's what it's because that's what Wick gave my mom, you know. So that's all I really could eat. And then now, oh well, fuck you, Sylvia.
He's having
you will go to therapy. I'll bring it to you, bitch.
Sylvia's been going to therapy so long she could be a therapist, you see?
See why I brought her here?
You're
Don't
welcome.
go to therapy. We start podcasts. Bring in new co-hosts. So yeah, I mean, that could be a factor. I never really thought about it that way, but yeah, that could be a factor of why I do emotionally or stress eat. Yeah.
I feel like you're getting nervous. I know. That could be a factor. I don't know. It could be a factor. Like, I don't know. I haven't thought about it, but it could be a factor. Like, damn, breathe.
It's because that cold kicked in too.
It's because of the fuck, marry, kill. I'm coming for you.
I know. Shit, my bad.
She is coming for you. Yeah, that's true. I feel like I'm newly a stress eater. I used to not be. No, actually, that's a lie. I've always been a stress eater, but I don't know why. Like,
I don't know why for me, because I am.
I'm also like a bored eater. Like, if I'm bored, I just want to be eating something, and
there's
was
a term for that in Japanese. Help us out here.
Jesus.
Bored?
No, it's literally it's a Japanese term for you're just eating because your mouth is lonely.
Oh,
literally. I think it's the cutest thing in the world.
You know, I think for me though too,
cute.
I think a part of the stress eating was because like
I have a laptop literally.
I know. When I was younger, because of the whole like machista culture, I really couldn't express myself. So I mean, I did turn to food a lot of the time too.
like that was just your
like my comfort.
Your comfort.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I specifically crave sugar when I'm stressed.
Same.
Like, that's what it is. Like, I want the cookie, I want the ice cream. Like, it's not like, oh, I just want to eat something, you know? It's
Kuchi sabishi.
Kuchi sabishi?
It's a Japanese word meaning that your mouth is lonely. So you snack because your mouth is lonely.
Kuchi sabichi.
Well,
You don't want to keep your mouth lonely.
no.
No.
Put the kuchi
wants
sabichi on.
That sounds dirty.
I know.
My mouth is lonely for that pussy. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow. That's good
We
to
are
know.
adults here. This podcast.
Japanese word of the day.
Kuchi sabichi.
Sabichi.